Hello everyone and welcome back to episode of the month. This is the show where at the end of every month, or the beginning of every month, I look back at the month that be and pick my favorite episode of television to talk about it with you. And for the first time since I've been doing episode of the month, we are going to be talking about an episode I already covered on this channel. So my episode of the month for August of 2021 is episode 5 of the second season of Ted Lasso. Now, you already know I'm a huge fan of Ted Lasso, and I'm an even bigger fan of Apple TV. I think they're the best streaming service there is currently. I love it to death, and Ted Lasso is such a great show. And I honestly could have picked any episode from this season to put on here. I could have did the Christmas one. I could have did, the one where they're flipping off Jamie. They're all really good. But the reason I picked episode 5 titled Rainbow is because of Roy Kent. Now, I already talked about this episode. I will put a link in the description. I will tag it up here. You will be able to watch my full review of this episode. I wanted, instead of just recapping everything I already talked about, just to briefly talk about Roy Kent, because it's amazing that this character works. It really is. I think Roy Kent is the perfect example of the nice asshole. He isn't gonna sugarcoat anything for you. He's gonna tell you the truth, the harshness of it, but you love him for it. He's not a terrible guy. He's just kind of mean sometimes. And I think there's something very endearing about that makes us like him even more. Brett Goldstein obviously just crushes it in this performance. Literally just knocks it out of the park every time. Just the subtle grunts and the sighs and this being displeased at everything, and having the bubbly Keely next to him really adds to that characterization. But the reason I wanted to pick this episode in particular, because Roy has a really fascinating arc in this, and I think it's one we could talk about for a bit. Now, I'm not going to overanalyze it because I already did that, but I just think Roy is a character that we all love. Nobody watches this show and is Roy sucks. We want him to succeed and be happy. We like him in the pundit role. We love seeing him just complaining and calling people Muppets and how they're stupid they are and they're bad at coaching. We like that a lot. But I think something we've also kind of been missing from this season, and at the halfway point of episode 5, it's halfway through the season, we want to see Roy kind of interact with the larger universe of characters. We've kind of only seen him with Keely. He hasn't really talked to anybody else besides Keely and Rebecca. So we never got those moments of, Jamie and the rest of the team, or Ted and Coach Beard and Nate. We never seen those happen yet. And this episode kind of is the return, in a sense, of Roy to the world of football and the actual stadium version of it, because he has a fantastic speech. Now, the actual theme of this episode is kind of it's a rom-com. So there's the When Harry Met Sally stuff, when they're running to the airport to get there. When we have the sequences of Roy just running to get to the stadium after he does his pundit thing, he's we don't know what the players are gonna do. We're not there. We're just watching, reacting. And he's I don't want to do this. I got a plane to catch. And he runs down. And just, that is quintessentially why we love Roy Kent. Because just this is stupid. I'm not going to do it anymore. Let me go back to the only thing that kind of made me happy. And the sequence is just him running down, giving money to taxi cabs and guys on bicycles to get to the stadium. Getting his ticket under, Reba McEntire. It's great. It is really fun. And we love to see Roy do this. And you know what else is really cool? I think probably one of the best moments in all of Ted Lasso so far. It is just really powerful in a different way than we've seen from some of the other powerful moments of this show. It's not Rebecca, winning an argument against her ex-husband. It's not Ted overcoming his anxieties. It's just the character that we all love, our angry brother who is so pissed off at the world. And he's just coming back to that one thing he loved. And when we get the reverse shot of Roy walking into the stadium, the crowd swells up, the music swells up. He is just at the peak of his life, and he loves it. And he gets in the stadium, and suddenly he starts walking over to the coach's stuff. His knee's still acting up, so he's kind of limping. And the moment people noticed Roy walking towards Ted and the other coaches, the room comes alive. It's all of us. It's the audience just that's Roy. That's the Roy we love. We've loved him for so long. He is coming back. The crowd cheers. Keely and Rebecca notice, and Keely's son of a bitch, he's doing it. Even the players on the field, Isaac notices, and he's all right, things are about to get better now. And then he just comes back with our coaches, and everything it just feels better. You just love it so much because this guy who pretty much dedicated his whole life to football is finally be able to come back in the stadium and have the thing that he's always wanted, and that's just to be a part of the atmosphere that is football and have such a welcomed respect, where we've seen in the earlier episodes where he's like crying because he has to leave. Now he's pretty much getting sad that he has to come back because it's such an emotional moment for him. Isn't that awesome? Isn't that just a powerful moment, just seeing Roy come back to this thing and just love it and have those emotions swell up? It is so good to see that. Roy is probably one of the best written characters on television ever. I know that's a big statement, but something about that just like, it works. This entire season when we've seen Roy, he's just been like to Rebecca, yeah, he's great, but you deserve better. Or he's like, you know what? To his niece, you know what? Your breath smells. Let's go find a dentist and I'll give you each $1,000 if we don't find one. We love Roy for his like just blatant who gives a shit attitude, and what we just feel for him so much when he comes back to the world that he has become accustomed to, and it's just so nice to have him enter the stadium again. We love it. We feel for it. There's so many other great moments in this episode, things with Nate talking to Keely and Rebecca and the getting big. That stuff's really fun too. But when we see Roy just being like, I don't want to be the pundit, I gotta do what Ted's trying to get me to do anyways, as much as I hate that Ted's trying to confuse me and make me do this, it's what I want to do. And he goes to do it, and we all love him more for it. And it's one of the reasons Roy Kent's the best character on the show, and it's just such a strong just idea of what Roy should be. So I'm going to link my entire review for that episode because it's such a good episode. But let me just say this, you had me at coach. So that is my rendition for this month's episode of the month. And of course, it's Ted Lasso because this show is just perfect. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. And as always, you can check me out on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. I will catch you in the next one. Have fun. Stay safe. Good luck. He's here. He's there. He's every fucking where. Roy Kent.